Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
What's happening?
A whole lot.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Always
excited to hear about it.
Always busy. Oh, boy. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, but these podcasts are really fun for me. So they definitely inspire me every week to come up with something really valuable to our listeners. So this week's topic actually comes from a question from kind of a friend of mine who seems to be kind of floundering a little about what they want to do with their life. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of speak to that person, because I know this has got to be almost universal. You know, think about it, you're 23, 24, you don't know what to do with your life, or you're stuck in a career that, you want to get out of. And that this might be interesting, this kind of, the SEO agency kind of pathway. How did I do it? And then how can you do it? So
all right.
Basically, if you're thinking about starting your own agency, that's what I wanted to kind of go through in this podcast.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I have lots of questions. So
I know
ahead.
Jamie is he started his, I don't know, how many companies have you started? A bunch, right?
Still starting them. I
know. So as have I. Kind of an entrepreneurial spirit, I guess, runs in our family. So the first thing, yeah, it does. What?
Let's see. You and me and Okay, please continue.
Yeah, Jamie and I grew up in a coffee shop. So that was before there were Starbucks and before there were baristas, there was me and Jamie asking, making lattes and stuff.
Continue.
All right. Anyway, first thing that's really, really important is if you're thinking about going into this as a business, you want to start educating yourself, right? You have to have an inclination for the computer. All right. You can't just be without a computer, you're not going to be able to get very far. So have an inclination. Don't be born rich. That I'm not going to give that advice, but have an inclination for computers and for working on a computer, because your life is going to be focused around that, right? Without a computer, definitely we can't do what we're doing.
Okay.
So drawbacks and pluses are come with that part. But anyway, first thing is you're going to have to learn the basics of creating a website, learning WordPress. There's tons of places on the internet to do that. So go for it. I mean, it is a platform that you're going to have to master, and at a fairly high degree. And it's easy to do. It just takes time. Right?
Yeah.
So next, you're going to have to learn, obviously, the basics of SEO and ranking sites, and then ranking businesses and maps, and, the ins and outs of the current social media environment. Now, I know if you're a Gen Zer, you hate Facebook. And most likely, if you're a millennial, you probably kind of hate Facebook. Guess what? You're going to have to go where the customers are. So you're going to have to learn those platforms if you want to succeed on them. Not everyone you talk to is going to be so, interested in putting stuff on TikTok. That's just the way it is. Make sense?
Yeah. And again, let me know when I get time for questions.
All right. So great place to start is on Facebook to join some groups. And there are a few really, really, really good SEO based Facebook groups. So like the Affiliate Lab, that's really, really good. Maps Liftoff is a really, really good one as well. Basically, go on Facebook, search for SEO, and look for groups. And you can see by the amount of members and how active those groups are, how great they are. Basically, if it's 200 members and the last post was 8 weeks ago, not a good one. I know if you're younger, you probably want to look at Reddit. My experience with Reddit, and it's pretty extensive, for SEO is not good. It's a lot of people trying to sell stuff and not really as supportive as these private groups are on Facebook. So if you have a problem or question, most of the community in these groups, they're not open to the public, right? So in these groups, they're super supportive and really helpful. So definitely join those. Think about purchasing some courses. Obviously, I know a lot of courses. Pretty much every 6 months or so, I try a new one. But the basics, like the bedrock for me, was Matt Diggity. So just search Matt Diggity, and you can look for his affiliate site ranking. That one is kind of the gold standard. You're talking about hours and hours and hours of classes online that you can take that'll show you start to finish how to rank a website. And it's awesome. And it's awesome because in his school, basically in his classes, there are people making, $500,000 a year doing this. And that is amazing. So, and these are people who are just like you. They have an inclination for creating stuff online, and they're, they have a will to learn, and, it gets exciting when it starts working. So the other one I like is Brian Willey. You can look up his course too. That's for maps. And, you're going to have to pay some money. So if you already have a job, you can take these classes at night or whatever, whenever you want, right? Because they're internet based, and you just go through the modules. They come with great support. And like I said, a built-in community on Facebook for your questions. Awesome. All right. Well, questions about education.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first one is, it's kind of, you mentioned right at the beginning, is that you have to have a desire to learn. I mean, sure. So many people that ask me, how did I get started? And I said, well, I wanted to learn. I'm too old school for, computers and me. Oh no, I can, barely use my phone, but, teach me everything. I want you to sit down and teach me everything you know.
Yes.
Anywho, so go ahead. I have some other things too. But
yeah, that's the inclination part is essential. So the next part is actually starting up your business, getting going. So there's tons of technical stuff you should do, and corporation or whatever, and just kind of do your research and then choose the right path for you. But once you start up, for me, what helped me really start up was joining some local networking groups. So of course I spent time at the chamber. Depending on if you live in a large city or a small city, the chamber can be either a massive waste of time or a really massive waste of time. So for me, that they were both. But that's because of what I do. So when we do local SEO for businesses, my small town, they just weren't in need of that, right? They're not looking to grow outside of the town. It's just not my customers weren't there. But when I went to local networking groups like Latip or BNI, now online, there's a ton of networking groups that you can join, and you will get business through them. You build the trust, and then you do a few projects, and then bam, you start getting more and more. So that's really, really what helped me kind of kickstart my company, was doing it that way. If you know any nonprofits or your friends' businesses that you can kind of learn and do stuff for free for them, build their website, rank it, and then start doing the local SEO stuff that you've learned, that's a great way to learn before you start, trying to charge people for that.
Yeah, I completely, that was going to lead into what I was going to say.
Yes, go ahead.
How much can let's just say in the first year, how much can someone expect to make?
Okay, so when you're doing SEO, right, there's pretty much 3 paths that you can do. There's local SEO, then there's affiliate marketing, and then there's rank and rent. So ranking a website and then renting it out. So each one of those, they all say the sky's the limit. But I would recommend, I would, in Northern California, probably the first year between 80 and 120,000 is what you can make. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to understand though, that if it's all focused on you, if you're doing all the work, you're crazy. So don't, plan on that. Plan on growing your business. And unfortunately, having your friends be part of the business, not a good idea. Having your friends' kids be part of the business, they're college age kids or whatever, not a good idea. So you want to kind of listen to some past episodes. I know on one of our first episodes, I talked about how to outsource, the Tim Ferriss way of basically leveraging your time So that way, you can work more than 24 hours in a day. And how do you do that? You hire people to do it for you. So tons of offshore people that are willing to work, happy to work, and do great work. So go take a listen to an earlier episode about that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready for, or you keep on going. I got more questions, of course.
All right.
Maybe we'll save them up.
Once you're growing your business, you have to start small. So you have to understand that, if you're making 50 grand that first year, that's, better than zero, right? And you're your own boss, and you're building a business that weirdly, I have friends who are in their 50s who they've worked for super massive, giant companies, and they get we're all one big family here. We love you. Without you, we wouldn't be anywhere. And then they get fired. They get laid off, not for any fault of their own, just because they age out and their salary is too expensive, and a younger person will do it for a lot less. So now what are they going to do, right? When you're in this industry, you're the boss. That's the awesome thing. So start small, work hard. When you're talking to potential clients, don't make outrageous claims, and definitely be good to people and then give back, right? If you're part of these Facebook groups and you're doing your own podcast like this, help. The more you help others, the better it is for you. You have to look at this not as a land of scarce resources, but as a land of plenty. Me talking like this is how I believe there's plenty of work out there and plenty of business that, other people can do differently than I. That's okay.
The question is, and it relates exactly to what you were saying, it's not too late to get into the world of SEO.
No, I think if you have an inclination, if you want to be your own boss, if you're in your 50s or whatever, and you're like, what the hell is this? Then yeah, good. Go for it, man. And lady, you're going to be able to bring something to your clients that no one else can do. And that comes from your experience. So yeah, there are clients out there that are looking for you. So go for it. Why not?
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic.
It's great. I mean, being your own boss, building something that you are proud of and that you can take some satisfaction out of. That's enjoying the journey as far as I'm concerned.
Perfect. Well, that sounds great. Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam, for giving back to the local SEO community. And hopefully you forgot to mention one other thing, which is go back and listen to every single past episode if you're thinking about the local SEO business. Sure. Is probably the best course out there. And it never stops. There's always something new to learn. Yes. And make sure, if you know anyone that's kind of floundering and maybe thinking of, besides joining the Navy, they could certainly start their own local SEO business. And this would be a great start. So make sure to share this podcast out. And if you have any questions, want to search it, go to our website, magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast button, and then search for any past topic that you want, or you can just scroll through and see what makes sense. Lastly, make sure to rate and review our podcast. 5 stars, please.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.